started. So, welcome everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. And let's transition into our session. I will start by introducing myself. My name is Anupama Gupta. I'm the EdTech coordinator at the Santa Clara County Office of Education. And I started these sessions just because technology is moving faster than ever. And with the rise of AI, we're seeing incredible new ways to enrich instruction. But to really make the most of these shifts, we need to constantly update our toolkit. And hopefully, this session or these sessions that I'm running will help you stay ahead of the curve while we explore these possibilities together. So today we are talking about AI supported by Canva, magic tools in the classroom. And of course, we have at the beginning of the title human first, and that's to emphasize the role of humans in this journey of exploration. So today I have the extreme honor and privilege of presenting to you our guest speaker, who's going to walk us through this Canvas latest AI magic tools, Kate Tolnai. She's an educator and strategist with over 20 years of experience across CK16 education. She currently serves as a director of micro-credentials and innovation credential strategy at the University of Phoenix and is adjunct faculty and AI online learning faculty lead at Notre Dame de Nemours University. Kate, Kate's work focuses on building inclusive, human-centered pathways that help learning and learners be seen, valued, and connected across K-12 higher education and industry. And as you can see, these words are not enough. I do have more about how amazing she is, and I know her personally too. So I'm so very excited that she agreed to come and run this session for us. So take it over from us now, Kate. Thank
Amazing.
you.
Thank you. So warm. And I will also just share that for 2 years, I worked at the Santa Clara County Office of Education. That should have made the cuts, really.
Yes.
Um, So I was
For
there from
sure.
2015 to 2017. I honestly forget what my title was, but it was kind of like a super tech TOSA for the county. If you're
Okay.
familiar, teacher on special assignment, there was four of us, and we supported all the schools throughout Santa Clara County with their technology integration, and it was just like one of my favorite professional chapters. And I'm not just saying it. I think, setting that stage that just because I'm facilitating doesn't mean I know everything. And AI changes so often that something I may have been able to do yesterday might look different today. So we're going to walk into this space knowing that that's our reality. Wherever you are is where you are supposed to be. So, especially I've seen so many educators kind of start shooting on themselves. I should do this more. I should make more time to play. I should know how to do that already. And I just want you to say, like, don't do that today. Take an hour off of that attitude and just embrace where you're at is fine. And where we're going to go is going to be farther than you where you started. Um, and then lastly, there is no one size fits all tool for AI in education. So I encourage you to really pay attention to how empowered or not empowered you feel when you're using a tool. If we as the educators feel empowered and feel comfortable and feel engaged with a resource, that usually is the right one to bring to your students. So if you have those moments today, make note of that and just kind of acknowledge it and kind of lean into that. So I do want to make sure that everybody can log in to their Canva for Education account. And that might mean that, for some of you, that might mean starting an account. So I've put on slide 2 a link over that text. And if you click on the text, it will give you that hyperlink to click on. That's going to open up the canva.com/education page. And so if you haven't yet created an education account, it is free for K-12 educators and students. Um, it is a protected space. I would never invite you into a space that isn't compliant for our students to use. and isn't free to low cost. This is free and compliant, meaning it follows state and national regulations around student data privacy. So if you're willing and interested, I would click on Get Verified under Teachers, and it's going to take you through. I think because I'm already verified, it's like, yeah, Kate, you're good to go. But if you haven't been verified, there should be a little form that pops up, and it usually happens pretty quick, but we'll give it a few minutes. And if you're still not at that point where you want to make your education account, as long as you have a free account, you can still play with most of what we're going to do today, though the AI tools will be a bit limited.
Hmm.
So, any questions on account creation? Go ahead and put them in the chat. Emily, we were just talking about making your Canva for Education account.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so again, continuing with this frame, I'm curious to see where you plot yourself on this emoji matrix when it comes to AI and education. So are you more of a C2? Are you more like a G5? Someone said they were a C3 the other day, and rosy cheeks for me means like kind of blushing, but for that person, I think she said like overheated nervous. And I was like, that is so interesting. I never would have interpreted it that way, but it was really fun. Okay. Oh, I love it. And people are going off script and giving us their own emojis, which is totally great. Okay. So we have Alfonso at a 1A, Trisha with it looks like an inquisitive face. Anybody want to come off mute and tell us where you plot yourself and why?
Hi,
Right.
everyone. This is Laura at
Laura.
Lee. I plotted myself to F because I just love all of the things that are possible with this technology.
Love kissy face. Love your energy. That's so fun.
Hi,
Thanks, Laura,
yeah,
for
I'm Trisha. I meant
sharing.
that to be like a rye, kind of like
Ooh,
WRY.
like
Like,
like like
sort
one of
of
those.
kind of
Like
ironic, but yeah, like
okay.
this is cool, but
Dot dot dot.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. That's so fair.
Hi, this is Emily, and I
Uh-huh.
put I went rogue and I did like an intrigued emoji is what I would call
Oh,
it,
with
which is
the
why,
monocle.
yes, which is why I'm here because I'm intrigued and want to know more.
Love that. Love that. Thank you. Well, I'll also share my emoji. I'm very squarely at a D2 because I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I teach classroom teachers, I guide administrators, and I help run policy, all related to AI, and I use it. And so I try to I feel like my job is not to be the indicator of approval. My job in all of those spaces is to help each person determine where they are with it and give them as transparent an experience as possible so that they can make informed decisions about how it feels like to them. So I try and mask my emotional response. I'm not here to be like the cheerleader. I'm really here to create that space for you to go, okay, I had an experience. Now I can make an informed decision about whether or not Canva is going to fit into my workflow or into my classroom. Yeah, but thank you everybody for sharing. And I say this too because it's a bit ironic that computer science, which AI is computer science, it's ironic how emotional it is. I don't know if you can relate to that, but there's big feelings that come up related to AI in a lot of different contexts. And yeah, it's an emotional topic that I think is really healthy to kind of breathe through before we dive into all this learning together. Um, So let's focus on us. I got a handful of responses, about 14 responses, which was good enough to make me feel like I had a slight pulse on the room. Really helpful for me to see that 21% of you are brand new, which is why I wanted to make sure you knew how to log in to Canva for education. And then we have a basic user, so almost half of you are at that beginning stage of your journey with Canva AI tools, with another about third of you feeling pretty comfortable and a chunk of you being like, yep, I'm a user. I can use it. I can teach others how to use it. Feel really good to go. So the question I asked you, one of the questions was, when it comes to AI tools for teaching and learning, how would you describe yourself? And I thought this was really telling. I don't know if anybody else wants to share what they're noticing on the graph.
I just want to add a little bit background. Like some people, registered after we sent the survey. So this was a survey which I had
Okay.
sent out to all the registrants to get to know where you were in your journey with Canva. So if you were wondering what is this about and how come I'm not part of it, so maybe you registered after I sent the
Got it.
survey. So just to give you a background on that. But
Fair
these
enough.
are the ones who responded.
Fair enough. Thank you. Right. So I'm seeing some upticks in people feeling like, they're exploring, they're experimenting, they're excited to dive in, they're curious, slightly comfortable. I'm not, there's no indication of unsure, overwhelmed, or frustrated. I don't know if that's, again, that might not represent everybody in the room, but this is definitely giving me feelings of people ready to kind of explore and click, which is the best headspace to be in with new tech. And then the last question I thought to elevate was, what are you most interested in learning today? And I really took these three top areas, and I framed the whole experience around these areas. So we're going to look specifically at creating AI supported visuals for lessons or student work. We are going to look at how to model Canva AI for your students, and we'll be looking at some classroom ready examples as indicated by your interests. So the essential question to explore, how can Canva magic tools help me transform teaching and boost student creativity in the classroom? So we'll be looking at this from the lens of the teacher, and not focusing so much on the planning side of it, really focusing on the implementation side of it, whether it's a model or an assistant for you as a designer, or a way for you to empower your students to design. So why Canva for education? Why today? There's so many different AI tools out there. Um, I I think it's really interesting to pay attention to tools that I've used in the past that have brought more AI into the space. That's what happened with Canva. So I was already a Canva user, and they just started bleeding more or adding more AI into it. And as it was added, and as I explored, I started to realize I was experiencing what I'm calling these superpowers. So it was really helping me get my ideas into visuals like in seconds. And regenerate new ideas and new visuals. So creating those differentiated materials pretty quickly, where I could take one idea and turn it into a different modality or a different style, a different asset completely. I can go from a slideshow to an outline in a click. Um, it lets me, the translation features really help me think about students and families and their comfort levels with language. Generating those student ready resources. There's so many templates inside of Canva that are so empowering for learners that might not feel like designers yet, and for teachers for all that. So that's really helpful, and we'll get to look at those today. And then looking at how you can just transform text and slides and images all with this AI support. Like there's just there's so much. And Canva for Education is what other people would pay for the premium level or the pro level. So if you're not in a Canva for Education account nor a pro account, you won't have the same access to the AI credits. And so just be aware of that as you're generating today. So Magic Studio is what Canva calls their collection of all the magic tools. So anytime you see Magic Studio, you can know that's that library of different collections. And I thought we'd start with classroom ready examples. One, because it gets you kind of playing around in Canva and figuring out how to get to templates and understanding the layout. And then two, those of you that are already familiar can kind of get deeper on some specific strategies. So if you are following along, I'd love everybody to be on slide 11. And this is because you are the owner, you can edit this slide. So I always think it's important when you get a template from a tech tool to do what I call hover and discover. Like sometimes when you click in too many places at once, things start moving and you're like, I didn't want it to move there. So hovering and discovering gives you a sense of what's on there. So as I'm hovering, I'm noting that that's locked, right? You may find that there's some stuff on this template that you can't edit the design, because this actually came out of the design school for Canva. So if you wanted to edit, you would unlock it and now you can start to edit as you will. So just pay attention to that lock button. You're in control of your own template, but some initial decisions have been made, like some of it's locked and not locked. Okay. Let me now call out for you some of the elements of the template scavenger hunt. Now, we are not going to have time to do all of these, but I do want to make sure you're walking away with a resource that you could explore on your own. So, the idea of this is to just you would hopefully do all 6 of these, but I want you to actually go through the process of trying to find a template that would match what is in the box there. So one option, find a worksheet for grade 4 students. Another, find a flashcard template, visual presentation. Okay, I'm going to take us to, you can choose whichever one you want, or you can do this along with us. But I'm going to choose a blank comic strip template. Okay, now again, it's locked. That's okay, so you don't need to edit it. What you're going to do is actually copy and paste the template link here. And so now the next question is, how do you get to templates from here? There's a couple of ways. One can be opening up the template icon on the left navigation and type in comic strip. So it's saying no templates. Okay. But it says we found 640,000 in elements. So there we go. Click on elements. And now let's try that comic strip again. This is not exactly what I was looking for, but this will work. So we have graphics, we have photos, videos. So now we're seeing elements, which are all the different design elements you could choose, and you can see them clumped together. If I were to call in, let's say I wanted to see this one, this is actually going to put the graphic directly on my slide. That's one option, but the idea here with templates goes far beyond that. So let me show you the other way. If you were to hop out of this design and open up a new tab and head over to your home page, this is where I want to take you. So if I were to type in comic strips right here, now it's going to pull up, this is the good stuff. Now it's going to pull up all these templates, which are pre-established designs that are going to fall into those categories. I am noticing a lot of Spanish. Did I click? Oh no, just happens to be in Spanish. So what are things that you all are noticing on your end? And then feel free to unmute and be my plant in the audience. What are you seeing?
Well, I see a lot of templates with different, layouts,
Yeah,
and so
just some
that's
layout
what I'm seeing.
decisions.
Yes.
Some color decisions, some graphic decisions.
Mhm.
Also some blank ones. So some of
Mhm.
you may go, my students operate best when they start from scratch. Others may need a little bit more support. And so they might want to give a little bit more scaffolding. Some are going to want to see like a finished product. And maybe that's going to be, but the idea here is that you have so many to choose from. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and grab This one right here. I'm loving that this is in Spanish, though I'm so confused why Spanish is popping up at the top because I don't have that set as my computer language, but I'm loving it. And it doesn't really matter because we can translate it. So once you open up a template, you're going to see some really powerful stuff. You're going to note the grade level, subject area. You're going to be able to see the full template. So this is a multi-page template. So it gives you one that's fully developed, one that's more like placeholder, and then a slide that has all of these little icons that they could put in there, and other related templates that you might be interested in looking at. So let's say that you decide this is the one you want to customize. You would customize that template, and now you're in there as an editor. And so all of these can then be copied and pasted from one slide to another. So hopefully you're seeing the relationship between the different slides and the different assets on the slides. So flexibility, support, and scaffolding is all stuff that's in there. This is meant for grades 1 through 2. And you may look at that and go, I don't think so, friend. Like that is not the grade level I would give. I would say this is more like grade 3. And that's fine. As the teacher, we get to make that choice. If you want to save it and come back to it later, you can click on the star, which is going to add it to your starred section. And then the idea on the activity would be to click share. That's going to grab the link to this. And here I was. So I'm going to go ahead and add a text box right there and paste it in. And now we're starting to kind of curate our collection of templates. So let me pause there. Ooh, Trisha, great question about accessibility. I don't have a solid answer at all for you. I wish I did because that is a smart question to ask. But I am going to write it down. I can't imagine. I imagine that Canva has some substantial documentation around their compliance. So let me dig in and I'll make sure that if I can get it to you during the session, I'll follow up with a new and we can get that for you. It's a really good question. Thanks. Any other questions? I want to say this is the prettiest slide, but this is an organization slide. This is for you to kind of go, where am I at? What other activity or what other activities exist? And I could see repurposing this for my students just to get them acclimated into Canva. I don't think I would have them get templates, but I might have them practice getting elements. I could see them practice getting like if I were to type in beach, I might have them type like find a graphic of a beach, a photo of a beach, a video of a beach, and then have them kind of explore how they can use this almost like this choice board style to start to explore the different types of media that are available in Canva. Okay. All right, the room is quiet, so we're going to move on in the interest of time because I want to get you all into playing with some AI. So area of interest, create and edit AI supported visuals for lessons or student work. So on slide 13, this is another choice board. Again, this is one for you to kind of be aware, like if you wanted to explore this later or see different options you could explore. Here's a bunch of mini projects that you could either do with your students or just by yourself or with your PLN or PLC time. Any of that would be great. Just gets you into the tool and the Magic Studio with some specific projects in mind. The one we're going to do is the one at the bottom, Magical Music Album Cover Artwork. That's a mouthful. So we're going to use Magic Media to create imaginative music album covers based on a theme in your classroom. So As a friendly reminder, when we engage in AI prompting, the more specific and the more detailed the prompt, the better the results. And so I liked this visual that Canva offers as just quick reminders. Make sure to prompt the machine to give you an image that includes the subject, which is the what, the action, which is what you want to be happening, the style, the setting, and then any other details. So we're going to play a little bit with this idea of prompting like a pro on the next slide. This one you get to actually type and play on pretty easily. So the first thing I want you to do on slide 15 is let's take a minute to just think about a theme or a music album cover idea. Let's just ideate. So I'm going to think about, so I currently teach health education to teacher candidates online. So we have a whole module focused on teacher health and wellness. And so I'm going to type teacher health and wellness. I'm going to think about time to relax. So you can just be editing on your side as well. Maybe think of a lesson you've either recently taught or one that's coming up. Maybe a holiday, maybe a unit, maybe a field trip that's coming up. No wrong way to do it. Maybe it's, go off script and just think about anything you want to think about, like how Anu got us thinking about springtime. Managing time. That's another theme that came up with my students. Making time to drink water, or remembering to drink water, I should say. Remembering to drink water was like such a theme with my students. Okay. So once you've brainstormed some ideas, we're just going to practice prompting right here in this box. So I'm going to take this idea of time to relax. I think I want an album cover that's all about relaxing, teachers relaxing. So thinking about the subject, I'm going to put teachers relaxing. That's my subject and my action, my setting. On the beach. Yeah. Teachers relaxing on the beach. No. Yeah, on the beach. With books nearby and sunglasses and gentle waves in the distance, in a comic book style. Okay. Lots of details there. Maybe that's not going to be the first prompt out the gate, but let's try it. So what we need to do now is look for the button that says generate images. I'm going to make my screen a little bit bigger here. So in order to generate an image from scratch, you'll click on, or an AI image from scratch, click on elements, and you're going to click on, let's see, let's describe what we want right here. So we're actually going to grab that prompt that we wrote, paste it in, and click generate images. Let's see what happens. It's going to give me 4 options. Takes a little bit of time. Oh my gosh, they gave me, oh, in a comic book style because I said comic book. Oh, why did I didn't really mean that. Okay, maybe I did. This is hilarious. I wonder what they're saying. Are you so curious? They say, you write your me. Oh, they are saying nonsense is what they're saying. That's funny. And it's not like I can edit this because it's an AI image. So that was that one. This one says, oh yeah, again, jibber jabber in the language. That's so interesting. Okay. I'm going to grab this one. Even though this person has 3 arms. I'm not going to stick with that one. Okay, maybe this one. Appropriate amount of arms. Okay, let's try that. And I'm going to put it now. Actually, I did that really quickly, so I want to explain. These are what Canva calls frames. And you can kind of constrain your images based on the frame, and then you drop the photo or whatever image into the frame, and it will like be cropped to that size. So as I drag this on top, notice it's like, oh, did you want to drop it right there? And I say, when I release my mouse, then it becomes that. That's really kind of interesting. I would love to see what other people are creating. I don't think we have like the ability for people to upload, do we, in this Zoom menu?
No, maybe, but they can maybe share their link and we can
Ooh,
see
oh, that's a good
it,
idea.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Or if we have time, we can have them, share their
Share screen. Yeah. Yeah.
link. Yeah, I can give them that access.
Well, how about the next slide? Because the next slide's gonna be pretty nifty. Oh,
Mhm.
Laura's already taking us there. All right. Oh, I'm gonna request access. That's a good reminder. So if you are gonna share your link with us, oh my gosh, all my links. Sorry, guys. Just make sure you click anyone with the link can edit, can view, probably is fine, and then copy that link. And I knew just put the template link in there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to adjust my prompt. And so that's the idea here is what would you do differently the second time around? The second time around, I would put diverse teachers, relaxing on the beach, with, I don't know if I want books, with food and drink
Yeah,
nearby.
that's what
And
you missed last time. The
that's what
glass of
I miss,
the drink in hand.
obviously. And gentle waves in the distance, but I'm going to change this style to be watercolor. Ooh, let's see what happens there. Okay. So I could have edited it right here in the box, but I think it's nice to kind of have a trail of what we use. I see that, Laura. I'm going to click on that in a minute. So I'm going to do I'm going to do my second prompt now in the box. Click. Oh, I know what I did. I'm glad I did that wrong. So I press this submit button, which then takes that into searching inside of Canva's photos. If I want it to be an AI photo, I have to click generate images. That is a good teachable moment. Okay, so now it's thinking, see what it gives us. Oh, different. Okay, definitely see some representation, some better representation. I like the food and drink. Watercolor, definitely a different vibe to it, but I'm going to say I accept. I accept that. So hopefully you're seeing that with some slight modifications to initial prompts, you can continue to iterate your designs in a lot of different ways. And so can your students. And I think it's really important as we talk about modeling, like this part of modeling for them while they're doing it can be incredibly helpful for them to get some strategies down. All right, what did Laura get going for us? So this is Laura's. And she had, oh, a rabbit and a hedgehog having tea in the forest, looking relaxed with soft light and porcelain teacups. That looks so friendly. And I love it so much. Thank you, Laura. That makes me happy. Karen got us. Oh, she has two. Ooh. So let's see. I don't see your prompt here, but Serenade in the Spanish Moonlight, that is so beautiful. And I'm trying to think, it looks like you changed the font the second time around. Yes, so you can make it so she changed the font so she could see it better. I love it. I love it. Beautiful. Karen or Laura, do you want to come off mute and talk a little bit about what this was like for you? Oh, she's giving us her prompt. Thank you. I'll make it smaller so we can see it.
This is Laura.
Hi.
Hi. I have been playing around with this for a few months, and well, and by this I mean image generation. And I have found, I think, a happy place between too much information and just the right amount of information. And what the other participant was doing with refining, I find is really helpful. So I always consider image generation a process. So I do a first version and then I go from there if the version looks good.
That is such a pro tip. Like dancing long enough to figure out what the rhythm is as far as words and details and all of that. That's a great pro tip. Thank you for sharing that.
And I was working, this is Karen. I was working on it and I kind of did like a little hack where I opened up Gemini inside of Canva
Hmm.
and then I asked it to create the prompt for me and then I just like pasted it. I gave it like 4 or 5 keywords. But and then so it gave me the prompt and then I put that into the image generation. And I've never had experience with creating images in Canva before, so that was fun.
That's awesome. And did you open that through apps? Because I don't have Gemini, I don't have it installed in here. Is it in one of
It's
these?
no, it's not inside Canva. It's actually
Hmm.
it's at the top of my screen. Like when I log in,
Got it.
I can see it, and I use it within apps just from the top of my domain, like my Gmail domain. I can use.
Oh, I get
Where,
it. So like if I go to mail, it would be like up here.
oh no, it's your top right. I can see it right there. Look, Gemini's right there, top far right, by your tabs.
I am
Like
I-
go to the end to the far right, go through your tabs right there. And I just asked it. I've never used this in Canva, and it walked me through the process.
wow. Oh, I get it. Okay, so you were in
Oh,
here
wow.
and you did that
And
and
then
it did
I gave
that.
it like 4 words, 5 words.
Excuse that pro tip. That's amazing.
That's
Wow.
Right there. I like it. I like it. Very
This is
helpful.
great. This is what we like.
I know. And Marie has one more too. Let's get there.
Mhm.
Oh my. Yes.
Oh,
Tell us. This is fantastic.
that's amazing. Mhm.
Are you going to come off mute, Marie? Because I'm so interested.
Hi, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Cool. Yeah, this is Marie. I mean, I've been playing a lot with like generative AI with like pictures. And I guess it really just started with like the social media trends, like turn yourself into, I don't know, what was the most recent one? Like the caricature one.
Yes, where you're
Um,
like, you upload a picture and it takes you and it goes crazy.
right, exactly. So I guess it kind of started with that like months ago when like more generative AI stuff came out and it started to become really popular. So I feel like I'm pretty good at like
Oh,
just adding details to refine like exactly how I want the image. Um, so I guess I've had a lot of experience with that, but sometimes I feel like with AI, they, they hold on to some of the information that you've given to them in the past. So sometimes they'll just randomly pull in something that you said from like a week ago, and you're like, okay, what the heck is that dinosaur doing there? So I mean, it just depends. I think someone mentioned like there's sometimes it's just too much information. So it retains that information and then it spits out the stuff that you're like, wait, no, I didn't want that. So it depends. Like you have to be really careful with your wording.
yep. And I love how you just by adding, it looks like the prompt didn't change except you added the style of Georgia O'Keeffe. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. I just didn't like the style, like the realistic style, and I prefer something more like simplistic like that. I know that's not Georgia O'Keeffe style because she's more like watercolor, but I'm okay with that. I think it looks really cute like that.
Yep. I do too. And it's such a great way to juxtapose like again, those simple changes we make to the prompts can have such a big impact. So this is again very helpful, very wonderful for us to see what other people are doing too, because yeah, just helps. It helps to see what's possible when you see what other people are doing. So thank you. Okay. This next slide is going to get us into going beyond just creating a single image and actually leveraging the magic tools inside of Canva. So this is a Canva picture that I found literally just by going and putting in like, what did I put? Beach or something ridiculous, or things at the beach. And I got this picture. So what we're going to actually do is play with 3 different magic tools. One's called Magic Eraser, then there's Magic Edit, and then there's Background Generator. Super fun. So we're going to do 3 different changes to this one image. And the way that we activate these magic tools is by clicking on the image that you want to edit, and then going up to the top here and looking for that edit button. And that's going to bring up the editor panel, which also brings up all of your Magic Studio tools. So you'll need to scroll from like horizontally and you'll see the same icon. So we're going to start with Magic Eraser. So I want you to click where it says Magic Eraser, and you're going to erase something on here. So you have a couple ways to do it. You can use the brush, which looks like that, and it would erase whatever I have in that circle. I'm going to deselect that. You can click, and when you click, it'll analyze, the AI will analyze the objects, and it'll, as you hover, it'll say, oh, as you hover, did you mean you wanted to get rid of that? Or did you want to get rid of that? Or did you want to get rid of those? No, you can't do that. So it's treating this as a whole. So that's clicking. Foreground text, not something we're going to worry about right now. But for the brush, I don't know if this is going to work because last night I erased I actually erased the bucket. I'm going to try and erase these glasses. But you make a choice what you want to erase, and you can change that brush size just by toggling it smaller or larger. So I've highlighted that. Let's see if it, by clicking erase, the AI is going to like analyze the picture and erase. So I'm underwhelmed personally. I mean, it's like it faded out. Let me get closer so you can see. Like, I think that looks crummy. Like it's not as sharp there. It did its best to try and replicate the pattern, but I'm underwhelmed. So I'm gonna reset the tool, confirm it back, and I'm gonna use click instead because I'll do this. I know this one works for sure. So I'm gonna click on the bucket, and then I'm gonna click erase. And then the AI is basically removing it and then generating the replacement for it based on what's around it. So go ahead and put in the chat an example, a time when that might actually be a useful tool for you, personally or professionally.
It reminds me that on our iPhones, we have that also where you can erase the person or
Yeah.
the background people with that erase
Mhm.
button. So similar to that, and it
Yep.
can be great. So very
Yeah.
useful.
I think you're right. Also, like if you have a really busy picture and you just wanted to kind of eliminate some of the distraction and get the focus on a certain area, you could strip some of that background stuff. Yeah. There's like really basic functional benefits for that. This next one, Magic Edit, is where it gets really creative and fun. So I will say that once you exit that magic tool, it will indicate with a check mark that that's happening on this picture. So if I wanted to get that bucket back or put something in that wasn't there, I could just click Reset Tools and it would bring it all back. So it'll reset the edits and it'll make it all happen to the state that it was right before this. So if I just click that back arrow, it's going to assume that the picture as it is now is the way it will be. So while Magic Eraser removes, Magic Edit adds. So we're going to, again, make sure that you clicked on that photo, scroll over to Magic Edit, and now you are going to add something to this. So there was a bucket there. I want to add, what do I want to add? Oh my gosh, a cute dog. And I'm going to select brush because I want the cute dog to be like right here. Okay. And I'm going to click generate, and the AI will pay attention to the area that I brushed and I indicated that's where I want it. And then we'll see what small dog it generates for me. I do note that I didn't add as many details as I could have, but oh, my cute dog, what is that? Can
It
I be on
is a cute. It is a
this
cute
dog?
dog.
Yeah, I'm here for this. Good job, Canva. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Alfonso, you can have students complete a story by describing possible objects that are missing. Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Or even add things to it that weren't already there. Again, you can always reset
Yeah.
if you don't like it, but once you exit out, it is in its new form. Y'all, we have one more that will take it to the next level, okay? Like we thought cute dogs on beaches were where we were at, but
Mhm.
now we're going to change the setting completely. We are going to click on that image. We are going to click edit, and we are going to find background generator. And we are going to describe the scene, mood, or lighting that you want the background to be. So where do I want my purse and my cute dog? I think I want them. Can you change the size of the dog? Not once it's on, but I could have, Trisha, changed it to be a bigger dog, or I could have undone it and like made that brush area bigger. But yeah, it's like editing the picture versus laying a dog layer on top of it. So that is the difference. Okay. Where do I want them to be? Oh my gosh. Prairie. Did I spell that right? Prairie. At sunset with twinkle lights. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, again, it's going to strip the background and then it's going to take those objects and put them on a new background. This one gives me a few options here. And the iteration continues because you may look at this. I mean, I don't see twinkle lights, but I'm also not mad at this picture. It's like, it absorbed the
Oh,
style of what was and the colors of what was on there. How fun is
wow.
that? I mean, I like the oak. I'm gonna go for this one. So there you go. 3 magic tools in 5 minutes changes a photo into a whole other story element that may or may not be just the right fit for you and your students. Okay, I know we're running short on time. The next one I want to show is I'm going to move, I think, a little quicker through this, but feel free to ask questions if I'm moving. So the idea of this is any picture you find, if you want to expand it or create elements of the scene that weren't already there, you can do so with a tool called Magic Expand. So the first step is to click on elements and search. I'm just saying search for a picture of a classroom. And I'm going to look at the photos of classrooms. I'll go ahead and I'll take this one. Okay, make it a little smaller. So there's the photo of the classroom. It's clearly like there's a larger setting here. And I'm going to click on this image and then click edit and hit Magic Expand. And now I can say, I want to expand this picture this way and this way, and I need AI to continue this picture for me. So I'm going to click expand, and AI is going to suggest what the rest of the picture looks like.
Wow.
My son and I were doing this last night, and we were having, oh my gosh, we were having so much fun. I had no idea there was a big window there, or maybe
Nice.
smaller windows, some plants. It really wants to put a window there. That is so funny. Yes, Trisha, for those poorly cropped photos, exactly. Um, more than anything, I think this is just, again, you don't know what's possible until you see it. So it's like you look at this and you go, wow, like where would that make sense for me and my students? Like how, like do I see a use case for this? Could I take a photo that we've used, I taught middle school history, but I take a photo that I've used and ask it to expand it and create, I don't know, a different battle scene that wasn't there before. I don't, a whole new setting. And of course, you could use any of the other tools on those, on the same image if you wanted to do so. Can you guide the expansion with ideas? No, Alfonso, not that it doesn't look to be customizable, but let me get in there again. So let me get to edit, and we had magic expand. No, no. Okay. We are at time, so I am going to just end by giving you these suggestions on the next slides, because people were saying they really want to understand how to model Canva Magic Studio for students. And so I came up with just 4 starting points to think about. Yeah, Trisha, it might be that. So thoughts around maybe showing students how prompts evolve, like we did, where we took one example and then edited it based on what we want the response to be. Maybe another suggestion would be to show AI as a starting point, not that final product. So really modeling the iteration process, always connecting the tool to the learning goal. So it should never really be about AI tools. It should really be about the learning and the objectives that we're trying to accomplish and how AI can help us get there in new ways. And then making your AI use transparent is always really helpful. So on that note, I'm going to stop sharing. So Anu can wrap us up.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. As you can see, this could go on and
Yeah.
on and on. And we love how you presented, how you were very, patient with us and, walked us through step by step. So really, really appreciate you taking us on this journey. And I hope everyone, those who are just starting off, it was not overwhelming and you saw what an amazing tool it is. And I know we had some experts too, and we did some good learning from them. I mean, thank you for sharing all the lovely tips that you gave us. And I know we're short on time, but I quickly want to go through these 2 slides. Please stay with me. One is what's coming next, and that's on April 9th. And I'm so excited. We have an amazing speaker from Padlet. She's the
Oh,
marketing manager, Zareen
she's
Legian, and
wonderful.
she is wonderful. She's a former classroom teacher in Oakland, from Oakland and San Francisco, and was a director for digital learning in San Francisco. So I've heard her. She's so attached still to the classroom and has such good examples of easy integration. So I'm very excited. And Padlet has been doing so many new, additions to their AI things, and you'll be blown away with all the amazing things that you can do with Padlet. So be there April 9th. And finally, my feedback, please take a minute. It is 4:28. You have 2 minutes. So please take a couple minutes to complete the survey. And as you complete the survey, I want to thank again Kate for being here, for walking us through this. We loved everything that you shared, and it is indeed magical, though we don't like to use the word magic with AI, but there are lots of things happening underneath. But it is amazing a presentation tool to get your, up your things and for students to start being creative and use it outside the box and things like that. So love to hear your feedback. It is a both way learning. So we would love to hear from you, learn from you. And if you implement it and use it in any ways, love to hear how you're using it. So please share with us. Thank you so much for coming today and being with us this evening. And I look forward to seeing you on April 9th. Don't go without doing that. And Campbell High School teachers, I hope you got the code to put it in. And see you all next time again on a Thursday, April 9th. And thank you again, Kate.
Thanks,
Thank you so
everybody. It
much.
was so fun. Thanks, Anu, for having me.